Hi everyone, this video shows our trip to Mount Rushmore National Memorial and Badlands National Park in South Dakota on Thanksgiving holidays. I will explain why, when, how, who, and what made Mount Rushmore, as well as how fortunate it is to see wild animals so close in Badlands. We are going to South Dakota. Let's go! Here is our travel plan. We hit the road on Thanksgiving Day and want to touch the border of South Dakota through Wisconsin and Minnesota by the end of the day. Our total spending for the whole trip was $574. If we flew to South Dakota, flight ticket would be $300 per person on the top of rental car fees. It takes 13 hours to get to Mount Rushmore from Chicago. We keep driving as much as we can today. We made 3 stops for refuel and 2 at the rest area so our son can take a break. Mount Rushmore was named after Charles E. Rushmore, a lawyer who explored to the land, while Lakota Sioux tribe calls it Six Grandfathers. 3 million visitors are coming to Mount Rushmore to see the legacy of the sculpture. This is one of the most recognized symbolic architectures associated with the USA in movies or any types of entertainment in the world. This is even depicted as Hokage-iwa in a famous Japanese comic called Naruto. In 1920s, Dwayne Robinson, an American historian in South Dakota, wanted to attract more visitors to the state and came up with an idea for colossal curving. He reached out to an architect called Gutzon Borglum, a Danish American from Idaho. Gutzon Borglum is also known as a friend of Auguste Rodin, who made the famous work, The Thinker. Borglum came up with an idea to curve 4 US presidents to keep the place as shrine of democracy. It took 2 years to get an approval of the budget by the local government and 14 years to complete the job. So who did they make? George Washington is a charismatic leader seeking for the independence from UK. Upon the Declaration of Independence by 13 states in 1775, he led the Continental Army to the victory and agreement of Paris Treaty in 1783. He also contributed to establishing the first national university made by the US Congress, known as George Washington University. By the way, if we look at his face closely on the bill, his mouth looks strained. This is because he was losing his teeth since he was as young as 28 years old and he was using a denture. He is trying to close his mouth against the spring of denture to take a good picture of himself. Thomas Jefferson is credited with his draft of Declaration of Independence. The famous quotation, "All men are created equal," is found in the United States Declaration of Independence. The final form of the sentence was stylized by Benjamin Franklin and penned by Thomas Jefferson during the beginning of the Revolutionary War in 1776. Thomas Jefferson purchased Louisiana state from France, and he is the founder of Democratic Republican Party. Abraham Lincoln, the 16th U.S. president, was born into poverty in a log cabin but self-educated to become a lawyer. Wow. Later, he inaugurated as the president from 1861 through 1865. During the Civil War, he led to the triumph of the Union Army. He is also known as a great emancipator for the abolition of slavery. Everyone knows his famous speech in Gettysburg in 1863 with quotation, "Government of the people, by the people, for the people." He was a tall person with 6 feet and 4 inches, and he was a wrestler who had only one defeat in a dozen years. Theodore Roosevelt was promoted to the 26th president when William McKinley, the former president, was assassinated. Being 42 years old, he became the youngest leader in the U.S. presidential history. He earned the Nobel Peace Prize for his contribution to end the war between Japan and Russia in early 1900. He proceeded with his aggressive Caribbean policy, resulting in the Spanish-American War. Development of Panama Canal is one of his achievements too. Domestically, his successful economic policies tackling antitrust and protection of workers are often referred to as progressivism. He has a nickname called Ted or Teddy. When he encountered a bear during hunting, he did not shoot him because the bear was a cub. His kindness was posted in a newspaper, and that inspired a well-known teddy bear to be born. Before Theodore Roosevelt was chosen on the sculpture, the other group of people was for Woodrow Wilson, the 28th president, who was leading the country at the World War I, but they eventually chose Teddy. In 1937, a grassroots movement started to add another person in the mountain, and the bill was brought to the government. Who did they recommend? It's Susan Anthony, who had great reputation for her women's human rights activity. That proposal was rejected in the end because of limited budget. Money is always important to do anything. Barack Obama gave up being the 5th on the sculpture because he said his ears are too big to replicate. Let's try the auto navigation. I set it at 68 miles per hour with the self-adjustment. Let's see how it works. It's working. We like it. Why didn't we use it since the beginning? What do you do? Let's get off. Let's take a break. Steady die. I know you're bored in the car. Sorry. I'm hungry now. The hotel we stayed was in Chamberlain in South Dakota, where Missouri River is right in front of us. Before crossing the river, we bumped into a large sculpture on the hill at Interstate 90 at Chamberlain. This art, designed by Dale Cloud Lanphier, represents an indigenous woman with a star kilt and honors the Lakota and Dakota peoples who are indigenous to South Dakota. Dignity of earth and sky in front of the Missouri River. Amazing. It's so cold. South Dakota is a part of Great Plains where a lot of fossils are discovered. The largest city is Sioux Falls with 210,000 population. Historically, in the 19th century, European-American settlement intensified after a gold rush in the Black Hills and construction of railroads from the east.
40, just in 160 miles, we are getting to Rabbit City, and you're gonna see 4 phases of US presidency history, okay?
Keystone hosts visitors to Mount Rushmore. Since it's almost December, I don't see any visitors at all. Now, our plan is to go to Black Hills Forest Outlook to see these 4 presidents from another mountain, and then let's go to the National Memorial. Mount Rushmore has been a sacred place for Sioux tribe. They call the mountain Six Grandfathers. Back in 1868, the US government once promised to agree that Black Hills belongs to Sioux tribe for good. But here is what happened. It was not long until the new pioneers found gold in this mountain, and that was the beginning of the conflict among the Native Americans and newcomers. As a result of the battle, US government officially confiscated this land from Sioux tribe. In 1980, however, US government ordered the local authority to pay a compensation to Sioux tribe, but Lakota people has refused to accept the money. Instead, Sioux tribe is trying to curb Crazy Horse in the neighborhood. He was one of the most recognized Native American figure of the Lakota Indian tribe. In memory of his legacy, trying to defend their culture and spirit in the 19th century, construction of the sculpture began in 1978. Though it has a very long way to complete the work, it will be the world's largest sculpture that will be 170 meters tall and 190 meters long should it be completed. So why was this mountain chosen for carving those 4 figures? The key factor was the material of the rock. To keep the sculpture in the same state for hundreds of years to come, the land with granite rocks in the Black Hills was selected. In addition, this mountain has a wide range of foot and is facing southeastward that makes it easy to watch in longer daylight. These conditions were necessary to attract more visitors.
Oh, we can see the sculpture of George Washington. Hello. Hello. Thank you. 빨리 도착. Good job. Let's go see your favorite presidents. We finally arrived at Mount Rushmore National Memorial. It was a long way. 13 hours of driving. We made it. Yay. Whoa.
Here is Gutzon Borglum, the designer of this monument. Unfortunately, Gutzon Borglum passed away just 7 months before the sculpture was complete, so he could not see his own masterpiece. Lincoln Borglum, his son, took over the project to finalize the monument. The employees included those mine workers and farmers who lost their job due to the world panic. We once came to this monument in 2019 when the monument was under construction and did not allow us to go further. At the lower level, we can visit Lincoln Borglum Visitor Center in commemoration of his leadership after the passing of his father. In summer, we can stay late to listen to the stories offered by rangers and join the outdoor light-up event, where more than 2,500 visitors gather.
Can become exaggerated when transferred from the 6-foot faces on the model to the 60-foot faces on the mountain. But Borglum's skill and genius as a sculptor allowed him to finesse the stone.
To curve all 4 presidents, 450,000 tons of granite were expected to be removed. Small tools such as chisel will take time like forever to curve. When the construction started in 1927, they also tried a rock driller, but it was slow to process either. With that, Borglum tried dynamite to blast those hard rocks. Those workers who finished special training to use dynamite were called powder monkey, and they kept blasting. In unstable condition being hung in a cliff just by copper wire, those brave workers kept drilling and blasting the rocks. In spite of their deadly duty, the fatal accident was 0 for 14 years. That's amazing, isn't it? However, many of the team passed away due to the consequential disease such as lung cancer because they swallowed the vast amount of silica dust while drilling the rock. Original plan was to curve Thomas Jefferson on the left side off of George Washington. When the curving of Thomas Jefferson started in 1931, they found so many quotes that it was hard for them to curve properly. As they blasted the rock for 18 months, more cores were found. In 1934, Borglum made a hard decision to blast the pre-made Jefferson's face and change the position to the right side of George Washington. According to Borglum's initial design, English words were to be curved as well. Those words were related to the events that happened between 1776 and 1906. This idea was eventually rejected due to the depleted budget. When Borglum gave up making the entablature, he instead tried to make Hall of Records to keep the archives. This grand concept, again, was given up due to the budgeting issue.
Theo, let's go.
Los presidentes te están buscando.
Grand View Terrace. Wow.
Not only Thomas Jefferson was a politician, he had multi-expertise as horticulturalist, architect, archaeologist, and inventor. One of his inventions can be tasted in this memorial at ice cream shop. This ice cream is made with the original recipe of his.
Guys.
Thank you.
Anything else I'll grab you guys?
Yeah, perfect. 길어.
He doesn't read. It sounds like I didn't have to pay for the parking at night. So next time I'll keep that in mind. Yep. Ooh. I just bumped into the small elk and I almost hit him. That's so scary. We both are safe. Yay. Good morning.
Thank you so much.
Anything? If you want to remember the names and faces of US presidents, Rapid City is the best place to be. Those 44 presidents from George Washington to Barack Obama are waiting for you at each corner of the streets. Okay, let's go to the Wall Drugs and Badlands. Thank you for not joining me. This is Badlands National Park. This is also a sacred place for Sioux tribe.
Hello. Yes.
Your pass is good for 1 to 7 days.
Oh,
And
7
the
days.
Visitor Center is open 22 miles straight ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, have a good day.
Thank
You
you.
too. Thank you.
Thank you. 7 days.
Though it looks inhospitable for animals, there are a lot of wildlife. That includes the name of Badlands comes from the fact that the Lakota Sioux called it Makosika, meaning Badland. Early Europeans also named the place Badlands due to its geographical conditions, such as few water sources, extreme weather, and formations that are hard for humans to navigate across it. Badlands is well known for its geology and paleontology. This land makes the biggest fossil discoveries in North America.
ごいよ。
すごい。すごい。大きいの。あ、怖い。怖い。怖い。怖い。こっちだよ。何いるか。
ゆっくり頑張って。
Slowly.
お、バイトストップ。
It's danger.
Located in Wall City, this city started its operation in 1907. There were only 326 people back in 1931, and the town was not so active yet. This city was not as famous as it is now until the owner family of the drugstore came up with an idea to grow their business. Dorothy and Ted Husted, the owner of the pharmacy, figured out that the very first thing which those visitors after driving all the way in summer would need is not the medicine but a glass of ice water. Since then, they started putting signs such as free ice water and get a soda instead of get a beer, posted by other stores. With that, more visitors started stopping by their drugstore, and the town is still enjoying the legacy of the drugstore for tourism.
You see.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, hello.
ハロー。聞こえますか。
Hello. Hi,
Here is my tip for travel to South Dakota. Do not travel in winter. Just go there in summer. That's all I can say. Good luck.